What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome, and welcome back to another product review. So in today's Colourpop video, we are going to be reviewing and demoing the All Amethyst palette. Look at how cute this packaging is. So very cute. It looks like crystals all over. The All Amethyst and the stars, I love how they put it in gold. It's embossed. So cute. Naturally, this is going to be like an all purple palette. I would expect nothing less from All Amethyst. It's very cute. I do think that this color Amulet is very much more of a blue purple, which I love that. So of course we're going to use this one. We're going to do a quick swatch of the palette and move on to two eyeshadow looks. Okay, so typically with Colourpop palettes, I do love them, except for whenever they have these pale shades like this. I'm kind of worried to see, you know, everything's swatched okay, but I'm interested to see how everything looks on me for my skin tone. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We're not gonna pass judgment yet. We're gonna give it a chance, but just to be noted. So before I start this look, I did wanna go ahead and mention that I am still using the Ace Beauty eyeshadow base. So this is the Ace Beauty eyeshadow amplifying base in the shade medium. It looks a mess because I keep it in like my makeup bag, but this is the one that I'm using currently. So just to be noted, I'll link it down in the description box below for you. Last video that I linked it, it was sold out, so there's nothing I can do about it, but I will continue to link it down in the description box below because a lot of you guys have been asking questions about my eyeshadow base and how I'm getting the pigment to stay. I really think that we owe it to this base right here. I'm in love with it, but let's move right along. So we are going to take this shade right here, Feb's Gem, and we're going to try to pack that into the base as a transition shade. We're going to start on this side. So this shade is coming out just like it looks in the pan, very much like a lavender. This is looks like a Miss Glam SS57 brush. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what it was, but yeah, that's the brush that we're using. This is a shadow blending brush. I just kind of take the shade and pack it in there. It looks like it's pretty pigmented for the shade that it is, so I'm not really mad at it. So next I'm going to take this shade right here because I feel like these two shades will complement each other well. This is the Royal Affair, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm taking the exact same brush. I'm just going to kind of pack it into my crease, but on the outside. This shade is very, very pigmented. I don't really have to go back and forth with it to make it blend, and it's blending into that lighter purple shade very, very well. Now I did just dip my brush back into the Feb's Gem just to kind of soften up that line right here. I'm gonna go over it, and I'm gonna go back into that Royal Affair and just go back and put some of that pigment back. I really feel like this palette is very appropriate for February because, I mean, I know we're getting it in January, but a good one to keep for February for like Valentine's Day. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this fallout before we move on. I don't want it to end up like staining my face. Like staying purple. So far with these shades, I would have to say that they look really good on skin. They're very pigmented. They blended together well. I mean, no complaints so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease off camera, and then we'll move on to the shimmers. I'm curious to find out what these two shades are gonna look like on the next lid. I'm a little worried because I don't really like them, to be honest. I think that they are a weird, like, I don't know how to describe it to you, like what I'm thinking about these two shades, but they're just like not like, they're just falling flat for me. So we'll worry about that when we get to it. So we're gonna move on to High Grade and Sunbird. We're gonna go Sunbird first. I'm gonna put this one all over my lid as the lid shade. And this is a Morphe flat shader brush, or shadow brush. I don't know why I keep saying shader. Shadow brush. So this shade right here is very, very pigmented, but we saw that in the swatch, so I knew that I would like this one on my skin as well because it gives off very much like almost like an iridescent type of purple, but it's just very, very pretty. That shade is very, very, very pretty. So I'm just gonna flip over this brush And we're gonna go into that lighter shade High Grade and put it right here. That's an inner corner highlight, of course, but going more into the lid. This shade right here is also very pretty. I'm gonna add it as a brow highlight as well. Wow, so this eye is looking pretty good. I am gonna go ahead and finish off this eye and then we'll move on to look number 2. Okay, so this eye is looking pretty cute. I'm really liking this one. So let's go ahead and move on to the shades that I don't actually like and see what we can come up with. So from the swatches on these, I feel like they swatch kind of patchy. They just look kind of weird. This one actually ended up looking like a pretty dark shade, almost as dark as this one when we swatched it, but they both look so patchy. I just don't really like them, but we're gonna give them a chance and see what we can come up with because I really want to use this shade right here. We're gonna start off with this shade right here. This is the Crystal Clear. Oh no, I made that say Crystal Clear. It says Crystal Crazy. So I'm actually thinking I'm gonna mix these two shades together because I'm a little bit worried about how dark this one will come out. So we're gonna mix these two shades together first and see what happens and then move on with it by itself. So let's start here. Again, this is that Miss Glam SS57 brush that we're gonna use. We're gonna pat that into the crease. Yeah, Crystal Crazy is giving like, it's very much like a pale purple. It is darker, but it's very pale, so I think we did the right thing by mixing those two shades together. It is looking prettier than I was expecting though, so prettier than expected. My brush is also a little bit damp, so I'm not sure if that's helping the pigment because I did spray it with the Bodyography Pro. This is the makeup brush cleaner. I did spray it with this and then just kind of like, I took my color switch thing, and so it's kind of damp, so I'm not sure if that's what's helping the pigment show up better or what, but it works, so I'm not hating it. So seems like it was a good idea what we did there. So now I'm gonna take this shade, this or that, and I'm gonna take the same brush just so that we can get a good blend and just bring that into the outer corner. Make sure I make the connection here, make it blend, and then blend it out because we are going to bring our cut crease out just like we did on this side. So this is actually making that shade come off a lot better than expected too. So maybe that's the key. Make sure that your brush is damp and it won't be so patchy. So I'm really liking the way that that looks so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease so we can move on to the other shade. Okay, so now that the crease is cut on this side, we are gonna move on to those shimmers. The last shimmers that we're gonna use in the thing, in the palette. I don't know why I said in the thing. So we are gonna use this Brilliant in the inner corners and Amulet on top of our lid. I really wanna use this shade. So this brush that I'm using is a Miss Glam. This is a eyeshadow brush in 15. I wasn't gonna switch brushes on you guys, but I lost the other one. Just that quick, lost it. So let's go ahead and move on to Amulet. We're gonna do the same thing like we did on the other side and pack this all over our lid. So I'm not actually liking the way that that's coming off, so I'm gonna go back. I found the brush, so we're gonna go back into the Morphe. This is the flat shader brush. Back into Amulet. Just feel like it's not like, yeah. That made it a little better. And this one is just like more flat. The other one was kind of fluffy. And I feel like this one can really get into that cut crease better, so. So this was a good move on our part, making the switch. This is a very pretty color. This palette kind of reminds me of Euphoria. I kind of feel like maybe we need to add some crystals. We might add some crystals. So now I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This is Brilliant. This is the lightest shade in the palette. It does look white on camera, but it's more of like a very pale lavender. So we're gonna put that in the inner corner. Very pretty. It's a very nice complement to the shade Amulet. It's very pretty. Very pretty. I'm still looking at Amulet on the lid and it's very patchy, so that's not ideal. I don't really like that, but I mean the shade itself is pretty. It's just very, very, very patchy. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the eye look, and then we'll move on to lips because I did pick up a Colourpop lip as well. So let's just go ahead and finish off this side and then we'll move on. So I did go ahead and add some rhinestones, as you guys can see. I just felt like it was giving euphoria, so I wanted to complete the euphoric look. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I keep saying euphoria, it's a show on HBO. They're glamorous, okay? So this is the lip that we're gonna use. This is the Luxe Velvet. The shade is Zoom Zoom. So this is a Luxe liquid lipstick. I feel like the shade was kind of purpley, kind of. I kind of feel like it probably won't actually go with this look now, but I am interested to see because I've been passing these with Colourpop, but I don't know, usually only go for their lip glosses, so let's just see. So yeah, the color is cute. It just doesn't really go with this look. I think we're going to do more of a neutral look, but I am going to go ahead and finish off the face with more Colourpop products. So we're going to use this Colourpop blush. This is from the Juice Bar collection. As you can see, I use it often. It's one of my faves. So we're going to do this. And then from the Rudolph collection, we're going to use this Jingle Jingle Jingle. This is it says the shimmering body powder, but we use it as a highlighter. So we're going to go down the nose. Okay, so final thoughts on the All Amethyst palette. So I would have to say we don't really need it, to be honest. We don't really need it. I feel like the only shade that we did not use was Trigonal right here, and it is one of those very pretty like mattes with the glitter, like a subtle shimmer in there. But looking at the palette, my favorite shade was this one, Amulet, and it was the most patchy. It was the most disappointing. These two right here, I thought that these were gonna be the baddies out of the bunch, like the ones that didn't show up well, but no, it was actually this one. And these actually did a good job. And like I mentioned before, my brush was kind of damp whenever I used these two, so I'm not sure if that makes a difference, you know, whenever you go and use the palette. But overall, I just say we don't really need this. Like, my mind is not blown. Now, I'm not like completely disappointed with it, but I just don't feel like we need it. So yeah, there's that. Maybe we'll give it another chance as we get closer to Valentine's Day. I do plan on pulling out more pinks, purples, and reds and creating more, you know, doing more creative looks in between the makeup reviews, but that's a huge maybe. We might see it again. I'm just not really sure. So All Amethyst, I would say it was $14 at Ulta, so not terrible, not a terrible price, but you know, not something that we just need. Like I shouldn't have jumped out of my seat to get it, but yeah, I do think that the jewels really set this look off and did really make it look cute, made it look really euphoric. I look like I go to Euphoria High School or whatever their school is called. But anyways, if you guys have not already, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, let me know in the comment section below which eyeshadow look is your favorite, and you will see my face in the next video.